Hey, Tony Gaskins here, checking in. I'm up at the location where I'm doing the podcast center. So if you in Central Florida, I'm opening up a location in Central Florida area for podcasts and online courses. And so if you got your podcast idea, you'll be able to come here and batch record, take a day off work, come on in and do you one by yourself if you need to. Now, sometimes people wait on everybody else. Do you one by yourself if you have to. And I'm about to do me a solo one, but then also do me a few group ones. And I'm thinking about doing me a sports podcast, just being that I work with so many athletes. I'm a mentor, probably over 500 pro athletes and college athletes and also high school athletes. Done work with 600 high school athletes out of the top 100 basketball players. And I did that 6 years in a row. So I'm thinking about starting me a podcast, and then it also will give a couple of my guys something to do outside of their normal routine of, working their job. So kind of me also supporting them, and then me being able to do something that's a little different from what I do of life coaching all the time. Because, you got to have some little passions, little hobbies. And I don't know everything about sports, but, played football in college, played sports my whole life. And more so want to take the life coaching angle on my side of it, and then let the guys kind of chop it up and break it down as far as analytics and all that. And so we thinking about it. And I might do me a true crime podcast with my wife, because she love to listen to that stuff all day. And so she had a couple of little ideas of like a husband-wife true crime podcast. That's just for the stuff like the pastime when you cleaning the house or you doing a job and you don't really feel like doing it. You just could put that podcast in. So if y'all think y'all might listen to that, 1 hour a week, let me know and I'll tell my wife. Because if she feel like it'll be a little audience out there, she might go ahead and do it. I think it'll be fun for her. And then that might get her, get her chops wet. Then she might want to come on here sometimes and talk about some of this marriage and love stuff, or just tips and things like that for the ladies on how to deal with hard-headed, knucklehead men, like myself, from the woman perspective, not just mine. But just doing this little update. We getting the space together. So in the space, what I want to do is have me a little lounge area to where if I'm doing general meetings, I'll do it right there. Real inconspicuous space. Now, this ain't no Hollywood space. It's a little quiet, real quiet. It's actually in Odessa, Florida, which is basically Tampa. So Tampa is 2 minutes up the street. But I just happened to bump into it, and just so happened that it's owned by a family that I know, so it worked out. And this the first location, but if it start booming and doing well, then I may open a second location. And may end up with a third location, maybe different parts of, Tampa, and then maybe move on into other cities, Orlando, Miami. And so y'all pray for me on that there. And if you want to buy a piece of it, you want to buy your 1%, 10%, send me an email. I need my little help. Lord might take it nationwide now. But now you gotta have your little bag with your name. No, I might let you in for about 10 grand. No, might need 20. But we thinking about it. This is something that I'm doing. It's something I've been wanting to do, and I got a couple other ideas that eventually I'll be able to do. And really my thing is you gotta, at some point you have to take a chance on yourself. Some point you got to take a chance on yourself, and you just got to do things that's on your heart. And me, one thing I'm big on is a brick and mortar. Having a brick and mortar. For those y'all, that mean like a physical location. It's cool working from home, but a lot of times that slow you down. It slow you down because your routine be off. You don't exercise right, might not sleep right, might not eat right because you're at home. And I want to open me a reading cafe one day. Just something real small and cute and quaint. I don't even know if those words go together, but just something that's just dopely designed, very chicly designed. And just where you could pop in there, have your cup of coffee, and just read your favorite book. And just have it spaced out, have some space in there. And really, it's really charity. It might be under a non-profit organization because there really ain't gonna be no money to be made selling the little cups of coffee. I mean, that ain't gonna do too much. And then just having like an internet cafe as well one day, maybe selling some sandwiches and some coffee, things like that for meetings. Just something a little more personal than Starbucks. So y'all pray for me, just branching out, doing other things, because when you're dealing with other people's problems all the time and coaching, and right now I'm coaching, and I still am doing my discounted sessions. And it's always good for me. You know, it's good for me doing them discounted sessions because it allowed me at this level. Because a lot of times when you're a coach and you cross 1 million supporters online, you no longer do one-on-one because it's 1 million people. So it's a lot of people to try to be accessible to. And then it take up a lot of time. You know, it take a lot of time out your day when you're getting booked up, because those is hours you giving to other people instead of, you know, your passions and dreams and purpose. But I do it for seasons, in certain seasons, because it allows me, for one, it does still feed my family. Even though I could be doing something else, it still feeds my family. But at the same time, it allowed me to keep my finger on the pulse of the people and to see what people going through, and then also to meet people in my audience. Because here's the thing, it's like a lot of times people don't realize, what influencers don't realize is that the people you need could be right in your audience. And being accessible, you get to meet people that you could possibly do business with. So actually, I'm doing business with some of my clients on this here podcast studio. People that I'd have met along the journey. And imagine, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Now I got another project that I want to do, and it's going to be a little more, it's going to be harder. And I probably have to do some crowdfunding on that one. But what I'm thinking about doing is, I got this 10 acres of land, and I'm thinking about making me like a retreat house on there, putting a retreat house on there. And so I might have to tap into y'all on that one for some help on that right there. Do me a fundraiser. You know, people do stuff like that for a lot less. Meaning raise funds for stuff that is just really ain't got no real purpose to it. You know, and sometimes a lot of people raise funds for their film, and the film ain't gonna change nobody's life. It might be a horror film. People raising $500,000 for a horror film. It's like, donate, get scared. But on this one right here, what I want to do is like a retreat house, somewhere where writers can go, where single parents can go, where overworked corporate people can go. And it's in the country, in Live Oak, Florida. And it's a grocery store, Publix, 5-6 miles away. It's some Blue Springs that is very popular it's low-key popular in Florida, Blue Springs, where, you know, natural springs. That is one of the destinations that people supposed to see when you go through Florida. But it's 10 acres. And so I have to have a lot, you know, the engineering, got to do the engineering on the land, the architecture. So if you're an architect and you watch these here videos, or you know an architect that'll do us a little deal now. Don't come in here with them Hollywood prices now. Or if you're a land engineer in Florida or know somebody, I'm putting that out there because sometimes you just never know. And then have to do the interior design. So if you're a certified interior designer, or you went to school for interior design, if you went to school for interior design, I might need you on the podcast studio. If you went to school for interior design, and just email me at support@TonyGaskins.com, support@TonyGaskins.com. But I'm out here working now, so when y'all see me, still gonna be shooting a video every day, but sometimes it'll just kind of be in the life, a little update, and versus a teaching video. Tomorrow, I'm running a 5K for the first time in my life, running me a 5K, which for the non-runners, that's 3.1 miles. Woo. I'm scared, but I'm gonna be introduced to myself. Tomorrow I will be introduced to myself. I will learn a lot about myself. I'll learn a lot about life, a lot about mindset, a lot about the body, conditioning, preparation. I'm gonna learn a lot from that 5K, and that's why I'm doing it, because it scares me. And I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk. I want to run. Even if I got to trot like a real slow, I want to keep my feet moving. And then I want to spurt and slow down and spurt and slow down and just do what I could do. I know you're supposed to do it a certain way, but I'm not a runner, so I got to do the way I could do it just to get through it. And so make that happen tomorrow and get that run on in. So if I get to do a video tomorrow, y'all might see me laid out, stretched out, and my back might be hurting a week. And I just have to walk every day after that, because right now I'm doing a workout streak. And what I'm doing is a workout every day, 7 days a week. And it don't have to be strenuous, but I just gotta have some movement for about at least 20 minutes a day, get some movement. So and I'm not doing it like a real workout, so it ain't one of the things where, oh, your body got to rest, because the work that I'm doing is no different if you got a job where you lifting stuff. So it's basically be like that though. Nothing crazy. But keep me in your prayers. I really ain't had nothing to teach about today, and sometimes when I ain't got nothing to teach about, I don't want to just force it. So I might get this a little title and put it into a little certain series, so you could stay abreast of the update. And I'm still working on some books, and got me a little writing spot, renting me a little writing spot where I could go and sit by the water and write. And that's something I had to do. And it's something I had to do too, out of just a clean, clear conscience. A lot of times, men who in the world, secular men, they may get them a little man cave or a little man pad, or they might get them a little something, and they get it too cheap. They get it to have an affair, to be in adultery. And then men who live in the right way, who can afford to do the same thing, can't do it because of the taboo. And it's almost like the righteous having to be prisoner to the sins of the unrighteous, of people who don't want to live right. And I say, I'm no longer finna live that lifestyle. I'm not finna live in a way to where I got to be, locked down and locked up and trapped because of the sins of another man, when I know I'm living for God. And I know God watch me 24/7. And I know it don't matter where I'm at, like being up here in this office. For a while I don't do in-person sessions. And for one, just because whenever you have accessibility, you're going to have a couple of people that are off their rocker. And so that's really why I don't do in-person sessions, because if somebody off their rocker, I'm in a tough situation. Like, what I'm gonna do? And I remember being in person with a lady before, years ago, long time ago, and she throwed herself on me. She throwed herself on me. I had to pick her up. She throwed herself on me. I'm gonna tell you, and that's why I limit stuff. And so that's why I don't do Zoom coaching calls. I don't do Zoom coaching calls unless it's special circumstance, like we sharing the screen and got to show something, got to go through something. But just a coaching call where I'm just sitting there on the computer just staring at a woman for an hour talking. I don't do that. I don't make a habit of that. So the man up here putting in the cable, and they having issues with it, getting the thing ran to it, getting it set up. They having issues. This old Spectrum, I felt like someone weird with that Spectrum. Like, it's kind of weird now. Y'all ain't got no online system where I can sign up. I got to get a person my card number and social security number over the phone. What if the woman want to quit her job and go to run her a fraud ring? Like, I'm gonna be the first victim. Like, my goodness. So yeah, now with this here space, it's serious inquiries only. Now, not come up here on no fangirl stuff now, just cause you follow on YouTube. And listen, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Just cause you see somebody online, I'm not no celebrity. I am not a celebrity. I am a regular person, okay? I am a regular person. When I meet people, I don't treat nobody like I'm a celebrity. But sometimes people let numbers online go to their head. I am a regular person, so please, if you not excited to meet the bomb, and Lord forgive the name that we done gave him, let me take that back. I don't even want to call the man no bomb. That's just the word that we done come up with. If you're not excited to meet the man that is sitting in front of the gas station with a cup asking you for a quarter, then do not be excited to meet me. Please. Please. It make me feel uncomfortable, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Now, I don't mind, Tony, I appreciate your message. Thank you. I don't mind that. But anything more than that, please, please, please. It just make me feel uncomfortable because I ain't nobody but a child of God. So that's why I say, up here, serious inquiries only. You need to have a course that you want to shoot, or you need to have a podcast that you want to film. And the jury is still out on in-person coaching. The jury's still out. Now, this security up here gonna be heavy. And I'm thinking about hiring me a full-time security guard. Cause just sometimes you just never know. Somebody might be off their rocker and I need to be able to hit a button and that security can fly in there and grab me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put glass doors so that when I'm in the office, my wife could pop up here anytime. And if I'm in the office coaching, then she could look right in that glass and see exactly what's going on, and ain't nobody got to be in their mind like, man, I wonder if they in there on top of that desk going at it. No. I ain't old boy now. Don't try me like old boy. Cause they waiting on me to fail, boy. They think I'm old boy. I'm not old boy. Okay? If I want me another woman, I have to go to the Lord and tell him that I'm finna get a divorce. If I want me another woman, I'm not finna be in no affair while I'm married. I'd rather do it the right way, and which is still the wrong way. So I ain't doing that either. So don't get no ideas about that either. Cause it'll be somebody up here trying to look cute. Like, well, if I do enough sessions, he might leave his wife for me. He might love my personality in the session. I looked up his birthday and our signs compatible. No, you'll be spending that money frivolously. Cause I ain't going nowhere. Unless my wife has to kick me to the curb. And if she kick me to the curb, I'm gonna be Apostle Paul. Do you hear me? If my wife ever kicked me to the curb, I will never date again. I wouldn't even go on a date. Do you hear me? I'd be Apostle Paul. I'd just be teaching the word. I'll be teaching the word. But guess what? My wife would never leave me over me. I'm not finna let myself go and my behavior run her off. If my wife was to leave me, it'll be because she got turned over to a reprobate mind. It wouldn't be because of me now. I talk to the Lord too much for me to get too far, get too gone. No. I have tough days now. Well, I'm probably a knucklehead, but I ain't gonna run nobody all the way off now. That ain't me. So y'all pray for me now, because as I'm making these moves, you know, you got to stay alert. That's why I'll be looking around. You got to be aware. Got to be prayerful, prayed up, living right, doing right. Okay, the cable guy sprinting to his car. What you got going on now? Nobody's sprinting. Now, come on now, Spectrum. Y'all need to get y'all life together. Y'all got all this business, all this money, and y'all can't get this thing up and running right. Come on now. Spectrum. But pray for me. And pray for me. And finna be expanding. And pray for me old business partner too. You know, I work alone. And I have me a partner I grew up with, but he don't work with me. He's not active. He just kind of like a consultant, and he'll support me when I'm back against the wall. Need my old business partner. Come on in about 70-30. No, I'm talking because I really don't. That's like a marriage. But what I wanna meet me is somebody is one of them attorneys that make sure all your stuff, you know, your will, living will, and set up a trust and all of that. That's what I want to meet. So if any of y'all do that, let me know. Make sure all that stuff tight and together. Hey, God bless you. Somebody calling my phone. We'll talk soon.